Hey guys, so we got some exciting things happening out here in the garden since I talked to you last. So let me show you around. So this is what our garlic looks like now, which is a huge improvement from what it looked like about a month ago. I would say about a month ago, it was about as tall as my onions are right now. And we had a dry spell for about a week, so onions are kind of dry. I need to fertilize them, but they're doing all right. Then we got some weeds I got to get out here and pull. But over here in my tall bed where we planted our carrots and our spinach and lettuce, I've got some spinach coming in here. This is my green ice lettuce, and then my black seeded Simpson lettuce. It's all leaf lettuce. And then I have some pretty little sprouts here for all of my carrots. So we should be seeing those here soon. And then over here, my strawberries are starting to bloom. This one's got a little bloom on it here. Here's my other ones. Some of them not looking so well. This one might be dead. It's so hard to tell. And then I have a couple snap pea plants here. And I'm not sure what's coming up in here, but I think it's onions from last year. So we'll see what those turn into. But yeah, that's about it for all the new growth out here, but pretty exciting stuff. But this is probably the most exciting part, so let's take a walk over here to the backyard. My doggies are out playing. So we planted apple trees last year, and they are starting to bloom. See here? Let me walk over here. This one's really blooming. So we should see apples on these trees next year, hopefully. Because this will be the second year we have them. All right, let's take a walk inside. Got a couple projects going on in here. We just ripped up our old carpet in this breezeway. So this is what it looks like right now. Let me zoom out. And then if we walk up here, my husband worked on grinding this floor last night, and we have a big, Marvel has something to say about it. We have a big crack in this floor, so we got to figure out what we're going to do here on this floor. And then I repainted this room. So once he gets done with this floor, I'll paint this room. As you can see, the ceiling's pretty bad. And then we'll put an epoxy down. Let's go into my house, ignore the messy floors. It's been raining. Let me turn the light on here. So, these are my raspberry plants, these two here. And then my blackberry plant hasn't produced any leaves yet, so not sure what's going on there, but let me open this up here and show you what I got growing in my greenhouse. Gotta get the rest of the way. So in here, got a couple cherry tomatoes, got some sugar rush peach peppers. The only thing that hasn't really come up is my jalapenos. And then I have some onions. Looks like one just sprouted right there. I figured they would take a little bit longer. They're little Italian torpedo onions. Bell peppers, Anaheim chilies, big Jim chilies, long sweet peppers, pepperoncinis, and then these come in my package from Gurney's as a free pepper, so they're called dill peppers. And then down here I've got my herbs. Oh, I have mushrooms growing, that's lovely. So I got basil here. Cilantro, a couple of those. Nothing on my chives yet. My rosemary, I planted a little bit later, and same with my oregano, so it's just starting to sprout. And then I have dill back here. I need to pull those mushrooms when we're done. But yeah, so we'll see. Today is April 26th, so I should see some new growth on these, and then we can get them outside. Hey guys, it's a beautiful day. Wanted to show you what I was doing. So first thing I did was plant this hanging basket. I don't know whether I'm going to put this on my porch or if I want to put it inside in my sunroom. And then if we walk over here, got that. My other one I already took out here by the road. So if we take a walk down my driveway here, we can look at the other one, but basically it's the same as that one back there. And I have it out front and just under my 2 trees now. I'll pull them out now and then, just to get some sun, of course. But here's my other one. So everything's looking really good. Now, if we take a walk out to the garden today, see what we got. I'm gonna look at my strawberries and see how they're doing. I fertilized them last week or so. Oh yeah, they're looking good. So these are my ever-bearing, and then I have 2 June-bearing strawberries. And then over here, it looks like my pea plants are getting bigger. So these are my snow peas. As you can see, they're about that tall now. And then my lettuce is definitely getting bigger. We got a big rain here last night, so I think that helped. This is my spinach. And then here is my carrots. So they're all doing really good. And then my garlic, since we got all this rain, is just ginormous. Look how tall it is. It's crazy. It's like probably twice as big as it was at this time last year, but last year we didn't get as much rain, so it was pretty dry. And then my onions, I fertilized them a couple days ago, and they're starting to look really good as well. So definitely not as dry as they were a few weeks ago, but today is May 6th, so I think I brought you guys out here about 10 days ago or so. So here's my other bed. This bed seems to be doing the best. This is my red onions. And then I still got to get some of this grass out of here. These are my Highlanders. And then over here, I've got some candy onions. And we'll take you guys inside and I can show you around what I got going in there today. I think I'm going to up pot some of my plants. So that's on the agenda. Still got to weed this bed and get something in there. But it is beautiful out today. Okay, here's the project today. So I'm thinking I'm going to up pot these because they are getting pretty tall. So these are all my pepper plants, a couple tomatoes. My jalapenos never come up, so I decided to buy some the other day. And they're back here in the back. They're very big compared to my plants, but you know, that's just how it goes when you're a home grower. You don't have a greenhouse like the other people do. Then I got all my herbs down here. Chives aren't doing anything, so I don't know what's going on with those. A couple things of cilantro, basil, rosemary, oregano starting to come up pretty good, and a couple of things of dill back there. So we're gonna get working on this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill these pots up here. I've got a bag of soil over here I just bought today, and it's just, you know, normal potting soil, nothing crazy. Fill it up about to there, leave about 1 inch for my plants. So yeah, this year has been really good so far, other than being tired from being pregnant. You know, my husband's been helping me quite a bit, so that's good. I have his help with everything. And hopefully this weather clears up. They said it's going to be the worst May in the history of Ohio weather. So that's great to hear. We may not be getting our plants out in the garden as soon as we thought, but that's okay. We're just going to roll with the punches. So yeah, I'm going to just fill up a whole tray here and see where that gets us. It needs a little bit more. And then I need to clean my house because it is a disaster in here. I've just been so busy. We just haven't had the time to do anything. We've got puppies we're trying to sell. So that's why you heard the puppies out there earlier. Okay, got all these full. I'm gonna grab my seeds. I shouldn't say my seeds, but my starts. So I've got Sugar Rush peach peppers. I'm gonna start with those. And they're just little babies, so I gotta be very delicate with these because they'll break pretty easily, so give me a second. Okay, so I want to be able to get in the bottom, so I'm gonna use my little bubble tool for canning, but hey, whatever works, right? We're just gonna be as careful as we can and move them over. And then I'll add some more soil on the top. But I have been putting some a fan on these just to kind of get the stems nice and hard. Just getting them ready to be outside. Of course, they're not huge right now, but I figured it was time to start getting them up potted. So yeah, I'll see you guys back in a little bit. So my plants got a little leggy. As you can see, they're pretty tall. So I'm gonna try to bury the stems, and I'll show you here in a second. Just so, so here's my little plant guy. So I'm gonna try to bury them like to here. You can see, and leave about that much. That'll help harden the stems off, and of course you don't need them to be that long, so this will help them grow a little bit better if we do it this way. Try to get them as deep as I can planted. They'll be healthier. So that's what I'm gonna do with everything, because everything seemed to get stemming. I left for vacation for Florida for a week, and I left my husband in charge. And he doesn't have a green thumb like I do, but at least he tried. But he didn't turn my lights on like very regularly while I was gone for a week. So I think he only turned them on like twice. So they were searching for sun, so they were pulling towards my windows over here, and they got really leggy. So what are you gonna do? Oh, now I'm gonna do my pink tiger tomatoes. So I can put on the screen what those are gonna look like, and everything that I'm doing today, so you can kind of see what they look like. But they're just a little cherry tomato. They're like pink and yellow, and just thought I'd try them this year. They're kind of like shaped like a grape tomato, so more like oval-like instead of round, which is I did those last year, and I usually don't eat tomatoes like straight out of the garden. I just like them in things, and I really, really liked these. So I'm excited to try this kind this year, instead of the normal grape tomatoes that we did. So we shall see what we think of these. And I have 3 of these as well, so that worked out for this row. Seems like maybe 3 or 4 of every 6 plants I planted came up. So I mean, that's not bad odds at all. So I'm all right with that. And if I don't need this many, there's a guy down the road. He just started a garden, and well, this was last year. So he moved in last year, started a garden, wasn't very big. But this year I just went by his house today, getting potting mix, and he dug a bigger garden, and it looks like he's putting a fence around it. So he probably had troubles last year with the critters like I did. You know, I live on a golf course, and of course we have skunks, rabbits. Rabbits are really bad, so that's kind of the main culprit. Trying to think of what else would be around here. My dogs. I don't know if he has animals, but my dogs, that was the main reason that we put my garden, or my fence around my garden, because they just like to dig. And there's really nothing I could do about it, so I just decided, well, I'm putting a fence up. So that's what I did. Actually, I have 4 of these. So the other one's pretty tiny, but we're gonna try to move it. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I got one tray done. So this is my Sugar Rush peach peppers, my pink tiger tomatoes, see my little guy right there, and then my bell peppers. So I'm just gonna take this tray, put it back here on my stove for now. Oops. Knocking things over. It's in my nature. Okay, so move this guy over. We'll start the next tray. I want to hear about your guys' goals for this year. What's everybody's goals for 2023? I know it's May, obviously, so we're almost halfway through the year, but I know I want to have a good, big, healthy garden, and I want everything to grow well. If it doesn't, that's okay. We can't always win. I want to have a big, healthy baby, too. So I'm doing September, so I'm halfway through my pregnancy, or I'm sorry, halfway through my pregnancy right now. So I got about 4.5 months to go. And she's growing like a weed. She's measuring a couple days behind, so nothing to worry about there. Doctor said everything looked good. I went for my 20-week ultrasound on last Tuesday, and all the parts looked good. They said there wasn't really anything to worry about, so I was happy to hear that. Obviously, we want a healthy baby, so that's my main goals this year. You know, we got the upstairs done, so that was a big project we wanted to get done this year. The breezeway, I got it painted and everything. I guess I showed you guys that a few videos ago. And we're gonna get the floor done hopefully on Tuesday, so I'll show you guys that when it's done. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my Anaheim chilies. It looks like I've got 4 of those. So my goal for sprouting is actually doing way better than I thought. So I have 6 holes here, and I wanted to at least have 3 plants come up per my 6 spots. So have 50% basically. And I had about 4 come up in every single one, so that's not too bad. I didn't have very good luck last year sprouting seeds. So my husband built me a box out in our garage, and it was pretty cold in our garage last year, especially like March time when I started everything. And so we put a heater in there. Well, then the heater dried pretty much everything out. So I thought, well, I'll get a humidifier and see if that helps. Well, I ordered this humidifier, or what I thought was a humidifier, and it was more like a mister, and it was very wet, and everything started growing mold on it because it was too wet. So that did not work well, so I lost probably half of my plants last year, so you live and you learn. So this year I decided that I was going to buy this greenhouse thing off of Amazon and try to do it that way, and it actually has worked really well. And then of course I've got my grow lights that I put on there, but I think the biggest thing is those heat mats that I bought to start to germinate them. I think that really made a huge difference. So I would highly recommend, if you're going to be starting seeds next year, I would highly recommend those heat mats. So my dogs chewed the wires on a few of them. Luckily they did not get electrocuted. So my husband had to fix a couple of my wires. I think that's why my herbs aren't quite as big as these pepper plants right now, because they didn't have the heat mat on them as long since the dog chewed it up. But that's what happens when you have 3 dogs, and of course one, he's still pretty young. He's, Oh gosh, I just buried my plant. So Marvel is about a year and 2 months. He's the father of all the puppies that you just heard out there. And then Gamora is 4 and Gamora's 5 and Drax is 3. So, and Gamora, she used to get in things a lot when she was a puppy. It's kind of like Marvel does. Drax, he's a good boy. He never gets in anything. He's my babe. He's my little cuddle bug. And he just wants to lay around all day and not do anything. So he could really care less about all this stuff. So I have 4 Anaheims, but I just found one that's sprouting. So let me show you how little it is, if I can get it out of here. I don't want to hurt it because it's pretty tiny. Can you see that little sprout? It makes me so happy. Gardening is just, it was never a passion when I was younger. When I was younger, whoa, move my camera. When I was younger, I just didn't care about this sort of stuff. And now that I have a family, it's just security for me. And it's just something I love doing in my free time when I'm home. I'm home a lot. So with my work schedule, I'm off on Tuesdays and Sundays. So, and then on Saturday, I only work till 3. I'm gonna be out of mix here in a second. But, so I have 2 days, basically, to get everything done around here. And I like that it's not just like a Saturday, Sunday, which I do have part of Saturday. But that really helps. And it just gives me time to catch up 2 days a week, split days, and get out in the garden, see what's growing, pick stuff. My husband usually works, he works on some Tuesdays. We both work for my dad. He has a golf cart business, so yeah, so my husband sometimes works on Tuesdays. It just depends how busy they are in the shop. So he'll help me on Tuesdays when he's home, I'm sure. As I'm getting bigger, he seems to be helping me more because he realizes that I'm struggling more. Catching my breath and getting around and just doing all the things that are necessary to keep my home in line. Okay, so I got Big Jim chilies next, and I only see 2 of those, so, and these Big Jim chilies, I think they're similar to the Anaheims. I'll have to look at my packets. Look at the roots on these things, though. These are the longest roots I've seen so far, so that's good. Good healthy roots there. Yeah, like I said, what's everybody's goals? I just want to know. I want to know your passions, and if gardening is your passion, then I'm glad we share that, because it's very fulfilling, especially when, you know, late summer rolls around and you're really reaping the benefits. And I just think that everything from the garden tastes better, and you know, you're not buying all this processed stuff in the stores. I just don't know how I feel about that. Like, obviously we need to have stores, and we need to have resources. But I think our most valuable resource is ourselves. You know, if we can take the time and put in the effort to do these things, it's so much healthier for you. You know exactly where it's coming from. You don't have to worry about pesticides and all the other things that they put in our food. These big farming companies. Little baby. So yeah, I just got the 2 Big Jim chilies here. And I'm almost out of potting mix. I thought I would have enough, but I don't think I do. So I'll have to run back to my local girl who has all this stuff and get some more, because I'll probably have one pot full. Now, I do have soil in these containers, so I can always like dump some of that out, but here's the bag I started with. Of course, I used some of this for my flower pots today, but let's see what I can get out here. I won't spill it all. Whoa, overflow. Kind of assumed that would happen. That's just my luck there for you. But I'll take what's on the bottom of these pans and mix them up. So what do I got left? I got my long sweets, my Italian pepperoncinis, my ditills, and my Italian torpedo onions, which have had one sprout, and I knew they'd take longer, so I wasn't too worried about it. So let's see, I've got 2 pots here. And I need to get the soil out of these trays, but I gotta get everything out of those first. So I don't know what to do. But I'll be right back when I figure it out. Okay guys, I figured it out. I had to steal some soil from my flowers that I just planted. However, here is the final product here. And then I put my other stuff down here. I did put the heat mat back under that, so hopefully those will really take off here soon. So yeah, I better zip this back up because all my lovely doggies will get into it. Okay, so we're gonna give everything a really good water, and then we'll be done with that project for the day.